Welcome. We have come across the blotting techniques like the southern blot, western blot, northern blot, and also we have seen about the colony hybridization, plaque lift assay, and also we have come across the dot blot, slot blot, and we have come across the southern northern blot. Now, the today's video it is about the immunological screening or the immunoblotting. Now, what do you mean by the immunological screening? This immunological screening it is a technique which is involving the antibodies, and these antibodies they are specific for the antigenic determinants which are placed over the polypeptide. Now, this polypeptide it is going to be synthesized by a target clone. That is the immunological screening or the immunoblotting. This technique it is used for screening of the cDNA libraries where there is the expression of the gene and a protein or the polypeptide it is going to be synthesized. Now here from the thousands of the clone we have to find out which is the clone which is allowing the expression of the gene, that is which is allowing the synthesis of the polypeptide. And to find out that here there is a use of the antibodies, and as we know the antibodies they are very specific to their target, that is very specific for the antigen or for the epitopes. Here there is a use of the antibody. Now here this technique it is a highly versatile technique. Now the next here, how to perform the immunoblotting. Now first here you have to plate the transform cells. Okay, and after plating the transform cells, first you have to make the replica plate. And here there is a use of the replica plating because here the next step there is the lysing of the cells by the chloroform vapor or the aerosol of the virulent phages. Now as we are going to lyse the cells, a copy of the clone it has to be maintained so that from that particular plate we can pick up the cells or the pick up the colonies which are the transform and which are allowing the expression of our gene. Now the second here it is what after lysing the cells. Okay, now the cells they are lysed, the content of the cells they are now coming out of the cell, and here there is what the proteins which are placed into the cells they are also come out. Now here there is a use of, okay, there is a use of the polyvinyl sheet, and this polyvinyl sheet now it is coated with the antibody. Okay, this IgG molecule that is it is a IgG antibody it is coated, and here the transform cells which are lysed on that plate, here you are going to keep. Okay, here it is your plate which has been lysed with the chloroform or the aerosol, and on that plate, on that cells, you are going to keep your polyvinyl plate. And the polyvinyl plate, it is coated with whom? It is coated with the antibody. And as it is coated with the antibody, that antibody, now it is going to interact with the antigen, and there is a formation of the complex, and that it is called as an antigen antibody complex. Now, next here. Okay, next year the antigen has been reacted or not, that you have to find out, and for that purpose there is a use of the secondary antibody. Okay, there is a use of the secondary antibody. It is also IgG antibody, and it is for the second type of an epitope which is present over the antigen. And this secondary antibody it is a iodinated antibody, and the iodine which has been bound to this IgG at its Fc region, that it is a radio labeled or it is a radioactive one. It is I-125. So the secondary antibody that you are going to use, it is a labeled one, and here the method first which has been given, it is using the radio labeled iodine. Now after this interaction, the extra IgG, extra secondary antibody, now it is going to be washed out, and then after washing it is exposed to the X-ray film. Now after exposing to the X-ray film, you are going to get the black dots on the X-ray film because the your iodine, which is a radioactive one, it is going to emit the radiations, and now that radiations it is going to hit the X-ray film, and when it is hitting the X-ray film, it is going to give you the black dot. So on a plate, okay, so on a plate, okay, here wherever there are the black dots, that they are the that they are the cells which are expressing your protein, or there is an expression of an gene. Now that particular cell, now you are going to pick up, or that particular colony, that particular clones, now you are going to pick up from where? From your replica plate. Now here the radio labeled, they are the hazardous one. That's why there has to be the safer mode for the detection. And for that purpose, the secondary antibody is labeled. And for the labeling purpose, there is a use of the enzymes. And the enzymes which are used, it is a horseradish peroxidases and the alkaline phosphatases. Now, when there is a use of the horseradish peroxidases, the substrate, it is a TMB or it is a ABTS, and when there is a use of the alkaline phosphatases, the substrate, it is a MBT, which is used with the BCIP. And now all these substrate, they are called as an chromogenic substrate, because after the action of the enzyme over the substrate, it is going to produce the colorful product. That's why the substrate, it is called as the chromogenic substrate. Okay, so the after reaction, there is a development of the color, and wherever there is a development of the color, that colonies now that colonies, they are going to be considered as the clones which are expressing the protein. Okay. Now here, instead of the plasmid, instead of the plasmid, there is the use of the vectors, which are the lambda based vector. And here, instead of the E. coli cells, there is the use of instead of the plasmid vectors, there is a use of the lambda based vectors for the cDNA library construction. And here the lambda vector which is used, it is a lambda GT11. Okay, so here when you are using the lambda GT11, here there is a plating of, there is a plating of the lambda phages over the plate, and now the lambda phages, lambda GT11, which is expressing the protein, that it is going to be detected with the help of the antigen antibody interaction with the then that antigen antibody interaction, after that antigen antibody interaction, that antigen, it is detected with the help of whom? Secondary antibody, which is a labeled one. I think you may have clear the idea about the immunoblotting. If you like my video, please share my video and like my video, and also subscribe my channel. Thank you.